Hello viewers, welcome to another exciting episode of the Tarnia Green Show. We're happy that you could have joined us. These days, planning your wedding is really all about your dream and of course your budget. Brides and grooms are choosing to abandon traditional weddings to say I do in more exotic locales with just the two of us or with close family and friends. They're also finding that choosing a destination wedding can actually be more economical. Destination weddings have become increasingly popular for all types of couples, and in Dominica we specialize in creating the dream wedding for the unique and adventurous couple. On today's show, we will highlight why Dominica is an ideal wedding destination as we capture all the elements which ensure that couples have a wonderful wedding experience on the island. That's coming up on this edition of the Tarnia Green Show. Stay with us.
Unlock the secrets of the Nature Isle with the hotel at the heart of Dominica. Whether relaxing or over on business, the Fort Young is perfectly placed for all your needs, providing comfort and elegance in every room. Our Palisades restaurant features Caribbean classics reinvented with fresh produce from our hills and our seas that connects with a view to dine for. The Fort Young is the best place to meet on island, providing the widest selection of meeting options. The island is filled with natural bounties, and adventurers have been drawn to Dominica for centuries. Fort Young Hotel, the key to Dominica.
Welcome back. The nature island of Dominica is one of the most exotic and romantic escapes in the Caribbean. Wedding locations range from the top of our lush green mountains alongside the crystal clear waters of a towering waterfall to our freshwater lakes or the stunning botanical gardens. Whether you are planning an intimate celebration or a lavish ceremony and reception for 100+ family and friends, your wedding in Dominica is guaranteed to be unforgettable. While destination weddings are stunning and unique events, they do take considerable planning and logistics. Planning a destination wedding on your own can be frustrating and stressful. The good news, though, is that when you work with local wedding and events planner Essential Designs, the process is trouble-free. Joining me now to discuss how Essential Designs takes all the stress away is wedding planner Sheila Pinard-Byrne. Sheila, thank you for joining me on the Tarnia Green Show.
Thank you so much for having me, Tanya.
You're welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, great. You look lovely.
Thank you.
As usual.
Thank you.
Okay, let's talk wedding planning. What made you want to become a wedding planner?
Okay, I, by profession, I'm an interior designer, and I've always had that creativity in me. And besides that, my other traits are, I'm very organized. I enjoy planning. I love to see people happy. So I looked at the bigger picture, and I've always wanted to own my own business. So I did this. I started it, and I'm enjoying it every second of it.
How long ago did you start that business?
I started the business in 2010, registered it under Essential Designs.
Okay, and how have things been going since then?
It's been going very well. I would like to get in some more of the destination weddings, but locally, I'm doing very well.
Okay,
Yeah.
So what happens when you get this call from a prospective client? You know, what does Sheila do? What does Sheila ask?
The first thing we gotta do, even if it's over the phone or in person, we do a free consultation. There are 3 things probably that you want to have already in mind. What is your budget? Where you're looking at, time, date, frame, you need to have that, as well as if you have a concept in mind as to what you want portrayed in your wedding. Those are 3 good things to come with, and then when you meet with me, we sit down and we go into detail with those aspects.
What sort of advance notice would you require for setting up? over for a wedding?
Usually when you get that whole engagement thing over and done with, and you know the brides, they start to get involved and go on websites, read up magazines and all these things. It becomes almost overwhelming, and that's when people realize, man, I need a wedding planner. And so usually if you have a 6-month period to leading up to it, that would be a very good time for you to work with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the services, the fundamental services that you provide as a wedding planner?
There are 3 options that you can hire as a wedding planner. You have a full day wedding planner on site, so that you'd probably need like 30 days notice. You could have a planner that just comes in, helps you with the coordination and selecting of vendors. And you have the full detail planner that starts from sending out your save the dates to your decorations, dealing with all your vendors, everything. So you have those options open as to how big or small the wedding is going to be.
Since we're talking destination weddings, once the client arrives on island, what's your role then?
Well, usually I'm already notified prior to, so we have already set up a date and we meet with them and we go through what we call the pre-consultation and goes through what is actually needed of me for the day. So prior to that, they would have had the 3 options as to where you're looking to have the wedding. We go to visit those sites, meet with the vendors, and go from there.
Okay. How many full-scale weddings have you planned in the past?
I have done about 10 plus.
Yes.
I'm not limited to wedding planning. I also do other events, so it could be bachelorette parties, it could be bridal showers. So it's along the lines of the same concept of weddings.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a team working with you?
Of course. That is most important. If you don't have a good team in coordination, the day will not run as smoothly as expected.
Okay, so do you personally, handle every aspect of the wedding planning?
Most of the time, that I start from the get-go of sending out the invitations, the designing of the invitations with the vendors that I work with, to setting up the food, the catering, the cakes, the decorations. I can say my forte is the decorating part. That is what my passion is in. I love the opportunity, you give me your concept, your colors, and I just throw it out there for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
When someone, for example, requests, that they want a color scheme, probably red and white, do you just accept, or do you make suggestions?
Most importantly, when you do the consultation with both the bride and if the fiancé is around, most times it's just the fiancé, you need to listen to them. You need to get the vibe as to what exactly it is that they want, and you need to work best with that. And you give advice, you give suggestions. Okay, this might work better. Dependent on the venue that you're looking for, you need to ensure that that works best for what they're asking.
Okay.
So,
how would you comment on the relationship with the vendors? I know you kept mentioning the vendors and so on. Are you closely knitted?
I have my preferred list of vendors that I work with because over the time you get to have a relationship with them. They respect you, you respect them. So these are the forefront ones that I will call on. And I can say as a wedding planner, my rewarding aspect of it all is when, they call you and they're like, I really enjoy working with you. And then if there are new ones that come on board, they tell you, I've heard so much about you from your events and from clients, and I look forward to meeting you and working with you. So those are the rewarding parts of being a planner.
Dominica is quickly becoming the preferred wedding destination.
Yes, it is.
In the Caribbean. What is it that we're doing so well?
I think it's what we have to offer in terms of the locations, the whimsical feel that most outsiders, foreigners are looking for. And it's probably on the lower scale of costing, on budgeting, that's why we're probably at the forefront right about now.
Apart from the weather,
yes,
being unpredictable, what else could go bad?
The vendors cancel with you last minute. They don't pick up their phone, they don't answer. It's like, what's going on? The cake is supposed to be delivered at 3 o'clock and right now it's 3 o'clock. Those things do come up, and it's usually based on logistics. I can say that's one of the main issues, not arranging the logistical part of it properly. Okay. And so that's where your plan B comes in. You send one of your people to go pick up the stuff and bring it in. Okay.
What is the most memorable wedding experience that you've had on Dominica?
Doing a multicultural wedding up at the Cabrits.
Talk to me about that.
The bride was from Africa and the guy was from Guadeloupe with Dominican descent. The color theme was really tropical. They were a very exciting couple to deal with. And they basically left me with their vision to be able to portray it. And they're very friendly people. So I had fun doing that wedding.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you had an opportunity to tell the world why they should come to Dominica to get married, what would you say to them?
What would I say? Come to Dominica. It's a beautiful island. We have the most friendly, beautiful people in Dominica, and we can offer you so much in terms of the catering event from our vendors. Our photographers are awesome. Venues are just from waterfalls to beach weddings. It's all out there. You can go to climb to the top of a mountain and get married. Your opportunities are just lying there within you in Dominica.
Okay, she said it all. Sheila Pinard Byrne, wedding planner on Dominica. Thank you very much for joining me on the Tarnia Green Show. When we come back, we will talk to a representative of the Fortune Hotel who is guaranteed to take care of your wedding needs. That's coming up next.
If you have any suggestions for us on the Tarnia Green Show, send us an email to thetarniagreenshow@gmail.com or call 617-8811.
Welcome back. At the first glance, you might wonder what distinguishes weddings held in Dominica from those of its island neighbors. When it comes to the Caribbean, you'll find that all the islands possess unique traits and niches. Dominica, also known as the Nature Island, reigns supreme for green, natural beauty. There are upscale resorts in Dominica for those who can't do without five-star amenities, and a wide range of boutique cottages and eco-lodges situated right in the midst of the island's rainforest, which offer extremely unique Dominica wedding ventures for nature lovers. The Fortune Hotel, one of Dominica's premier hotels, is located in the heart of the city, and over the years has hosted several destination weddings. Joining me now to talk more about this is Functions Coordinator at the Fortune Hotel, Nyan Sorrento. Nyan, thank you for joining me on the Tarnia Green Show.
Hi, Tanya.
It's
thanks.
great to have you. How are you doing?
I'm okay, thanks.
Okay.
Great to have me here.
Okay, it's such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Now we're talking destination weddings, and I know the Fortune Hotel has hosted over the years quite a number of weddings here.
Yeah.
Talk to me. When people book the Fortune Hotel to host the wedding, what are some of the first things that you do?
One of the first things that we do, from the client's perspective, is to get the bottom line of what it is that they expect from us. We do have a wedding package here at the hotel, which a number of our clients or a number of our destination clients choose from. So it allows you to decide whether you want to have your wedding ceremony here on property or whether you want to have it at the Trafalgar Falls, at the Emerald Pool, at the Freshwater Lake. So after we get from them that experience, the overall goal of the wedding reception, we get into, the nitty-gritty details of getting down to the point until the final day of the wedding reception. We find out from them, or we ask them, request from them, the number of people,
Yes.
that they're expecting, the colors that they're expecting. Usually before, traditionally, as you rightly said, the wedding colors in the past were probably just basic. Mm-hmm. Today we have all sorts of colors blending in to form colors that I never imagined in my mind or the team never imagined. So we need from them, what it is that they're looking for in terms of the colors of the wedding reception. Another thing that we look at, and interestingly, is the menu, because destination weddings, it's usually small compared to, our own locals here. And so the party may include well about 20 or even less people, less than that. And Tarnia, they won't tell you that they want, the 5-star dining, meal experience. They're more looking for the local foods.
Yes.
And so these are some of the things that we ensure that they get. So they might, I would like some croquettes as part of my meal and some phase 5 still pan. Last week or 2 weeks back, I think we did one of the destination weddings, and 2 days before the actual wedding ceremony itself, the client I'm not too sure where they passed, and they saw phase 5 still planned. So we had to do everything within our power to ensure that phase 5, worked with us. And it is an experience that the clients are looking for, and not only for us at the hotel, but we're upselling Dominica. We need to ensure that at the end of the day, when these clients come here at the hotel, the experience that they have is quality, is top notch. At the end of the day, they could go back to the clients and say, I had my destination wedding, or I had my wedding, sorry, in Dominica, and it was superb. That word of mouth advertising we're looking for, not only at the hotel, but to market Dominica on a general basis. And within the times that I have been working at the Fortune Hotel, the destination weddings that we have done has improved every year. I think last year, if I can recall, we did 15 just at the hotel, and this year on the books, I think I have as much as 25 already. So
25 already for the year?
Destination weddings. Wow. Last week we did one. Next week I have another one, and during the summer, which is peak, this is when we get a lot of the destination wedding. And I think so too. It's probably because of the climate, abroad, that the clients look to have that sea, sun, and sand experience when they come to the island. So they may choose to have the wedding here at the hotel, or they may choose to do it at the Emerald Pool, like I said. But at the end of the day, at the Fortune Hotel, we always try our best to exceed the client's expectations, and that is what's very important for them, because we want to meet that experience, and also for us at the hotel.
Once the client contacts you, makes formal arrangements with the Fortune Hotel to have their wedding held here, how do you communicate with them? Because you will appreciate that most times they're abroad. Right.
Usually the communication starts with our online engine booking. We do have that, so they will send a very short email. I need to have my wedding X, Y, and Z date. So we, from the first start, for probably the first 2 weeks, we start that email conversation. But sometimes, it's not as personal as to when you pick up the telephone and call the clients, or probably have a Skype conversation with the clients. So you get to see them actually and have that personal conversation with them. From there, I think after the Skype conversation, after the telephone conversation, you get the clearer picture as to what it is that they're looking for. So usually it's telephone or email, and then it moves over to the telephone stage, and even to a Skype conversation, to get it personal, to understand clearly, what it is that the client needs or requests from you.
What is the number one reason why clients choose to have their wedding at the Fortune Hotel?
I think it's because we are the premier hotel. We are the key to Dominica. We are the class hotel on the island. So we may have limited space to hold wedding receptions and so on. But at the end of the day, clients are looking for the experience. They're looking at the quality, and they're looking at the service. So I think this is one of the number one reasons why we've probably jumped over the 5 years from having few destination weddings to 2015 we're having 25. It's the experience that we give at the Fortune Hotel, and there's no other property on island that can give you that experience like the Fortune Hotel can.
Okay, how do you comment on the relationship that the Fortune Hotel has with other vendors in planning destination weddings?
We work with other vendors here on island. For instance, some of the packages that the clients may request may be a bit, above our duties. So, for example, we may work with, I think there is Nature Island Weddings, yes, if I'm not mistaken. So, we may contact them, to lay out the guest or the client's expectations and so on. So we may do it in different segments. So we contact them. We may contact decorators on island. We may contact cake decorators or the cake chefs, because sometimes at the end of the day, it's not just the Fortune Hotel. We incorporate everybody into what we do. So Dominica on a whole benefits from that entire experience.
As a function coordinator, are you physically on site, on premises, on the day of the wedding?
Yes, I have to be.
And why is that necessary?
It is necessary because usually, though we have a lot of the details before, the clients really don't come on island probably 3 days before their wedding. And, getting into the property or probably looking at other areas, they may they may have last minute requests, that probably just pops out really on the day of the wedding. For instance, I remember having a destination wedding, I think in January, and the client said to me that they would want to get, married on the jetty. For some reason, on the jetty. Yes. For some reason that they, I think there was some destruction. It was windy and it was no, it wasn't rain. I think it was extremely windy that day, and conditions were not right. Exactly, and 2 hours before, they're like, I don't want it, can we move over to the gardens? So at that point, I have to be there, and not only whilst everything is going on, you just need to be there to monitor if everything's going on, at the end, the bride may have a last minute request, how do I look, can I have this done, and so on. Yes. So it's important for me as a functions coordinator to always be there to ensure that we meet the guests' last minute requests, and also to ensure that my staff is doing what they're supposed to do, because at the end of the day, we're selling an experience here at the Fortune Hotel.
Oh, that's excellent. Talk to me about the feedback that you get from the clients after providing that service.
We do get positive reviews as well as negative reviews, and we look at these negative reviews as the number one way to improve on the services we do. So sometimes we would get, I enjoyed the entire experience, I enjoyed the atmosphere, I enjoyed the staff service. Sometimes you may find, I wish we could have probably kept it on for a bit longer. Or I remember one client said to me, I enjoyed the music, but I did not enjoy the atmosphere at that point. And I think that was one of the reasons that we looked at that once. And what we do, we always follow up. So we meet with the client. If it's not possible to do it right now, we call them. And then they will give you, a number of areas where you can improve. And following up makes a difference. So they may have, some slight negative reviews, about everything that you executed. But if you follow up with them, at the end of the day, you're still going to write on TripAdvisor that I had an amazing time at the Fortune Hotel, that my wedding planner, the functions department did a good job. And so we look at these reviews to improve, on what we do. But overall, they do have a good time. They do have a good experience. And again, our Wed Moon package is not only allows them, to just get married and, go back home, but they do tours at the Emerald Pool, the Freshwater Lake, they do massages and so on. So it seals everything, because you're coming on a very short vacation, so you want to experience the island as much as you can. So this is why our Wed Moon package allows that.
Okay, functions coordinator at the Fortune Hotel, talking to us about destination wedding planning and talking to us about the experience of the couples once they get to Dominica. We want to thank you so much, Nyan, for joining us on the Tarnia Green Show. When we come back, a destination wedding would not be wholesome without the food and drink. That's coming up on the other side of the break. Stay with me.
If you want to be a guest on the Tarnia Green Show, send an email to thetarniagreenshow@gmail.com. Be part of the excitement. Tune in to the Tarnia Green Show every other Monday on Digicel Play TV, Channel 3.
Welcome back. You're watching the Tarnia Green Show. While destination weddings are breathtakingly beautiful and casual, outdoor weddings can also be a source of stress and even added expense. An experienced caterer not only helps you avoid these costs, he or she can also help you navigate issues like beverages, table linens, and even the timing of the reception. When all is said and done, unless someone in your circle is a professional caterer or chef, paying someone else to handle the food is one wedding expense that's worth it. Here in Dominica, Ronald Astafan is your go-to man. I sat with him recently at his property in the Heights of Mero. Ronald has had several weddings on his property. Here's what he told me. So I'm at the home of Ronald Asifand, one of Dominica's most impressive caterers. And we are in the picturesque area in Dominica, the Heights of Mero, where he has his lovely home. I want to welcome you to the Tarnia Green Show, Ronald.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. So we're talking catering, and I know you have an absolute passion for food.
Yes.
When did you realize that you had such a passion?
Well, it started off with my mom, Hermina Asifand, who began Guyav some 34 years ago, in 1981. As a kid, during the summer holidays, Easter holidays, Christmas holidays, I would go to the restaurant and spend some time with her and learn a few things. After high school, I figured, what am I going to do? What do I want to do? And I figured I would just join her in the business. So I went over to Cyprus for a 2-year course in cooking, which included food and nutrition. It included enology, which is the study of wine, food costing, pastries, main courses, and different aspects of cooking.
And after that course, you realized that this is something that you definitely wanted to do.
Yes, I wanted to follow with my mom, you know. I made a commitment to her that I would join her in the business and grow the business, you know.
And how has that experience been thus far?
Oh, yeah. It's been challenging, but it's been fruitful.
Okay.
It's been challenging, fruitful. I mean, the restaurant business is a very challenging business. It's hard work, long hours. It can take a toll on your health, you know, on your social life, your personal life. But it brings a lot of pleasure when you actually present an event to someone and then you get the remarks of how lovely it is. I mean, you do events or you do food and people sometimes don't even want to eat it because it looks so nice, you know. So sometimes, you know, you do get the benefits and the joy of your hard work.
Okay, tell me, what are some of the events that you cater for?
Actually, I remember the first major event that we catered for, which was donkey years ago, was the first ever ecotourism conference held in Dominica. That was held at the State House, the old State House at the time. And we were tasked with 3 or 4 days of snacks in the morning, snacks in the afternoon, and to really showcase Dominica's local cuisine.
Yes.
I mean, the weather has changed since then, but at that time I remember we had an abundance of fruits.
Okay.
And one of the things that made the impact to the foreigners was our display of fresh herbal teas, actual fresh herbs being displayed for their teas and stuff. We had a lot of fruits, so we could do a lot of different dishes with the local fruits that we've had. Okay,
all right. Now, recently, you've been specializing in a lot of destination weddings, catering for destination weddings. When the couples contact you officially and say to you, well, Ronald, we would like you to be our caterer, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Actually, I try to get a feel of the clients and what they like, you know, and what they feel for, what their passion is or what their dream has been for their wedding. And we try to convince them to do as much local stuff as possible, but we do it in an international form that is more palatable to the palates of the foreigners, you know, and also can be enjoyed by the locals. So we get a feel of what they'd like, and then we can suggest to them basically on the menus that we are able to do what would best suit them. Okay, do you bring any specialty to the business? Me personally? Yes. Me personally, well, the business is, well, my mom and myself as the head. My mom basically deals with the quality of the actual products living there. I'm between the organization, the food costing, and the event itself on site, ensuring that the decor, the setup, everything is in place for a smooth event. We also have a very good team who works with us, you know, both at the restaurant and on site. So I'm hearing from you that you're not just catering the items, but you're providing services like chairs and tables and linens and all that kind of thing, decor. Yes, in order to survive in Dominica, we had to evolve into basically a full catering establishment where anything the client would require, if they wanted us to take care of it, we would take care of it for them. And you also provide venue. We provide venue. The beautiful venue behind us here in the Heights of Mero. The largest event we've done here is 400 persons for a formal dinner. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if the cameras can get a view of us in the back there, what's happening in the back there, but we've got lovely lawns and beautiful trees and flowers to complement everything. So we've heard that Ronald has been able to cater to 400 people. That's totally amazing. Now you've catered to 400, but you've also catered to smaller groups.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Nothing is too small for us to cater for. I mean, some of the best weddings we've done, including a couple destination weddings, have been the smallest weddings. 20 people, 30 people, 40 people.
Why do you say some of the best weddings have been the small ones?
Sometimes simple is best, and sometimes the simpler weddings, I mean, you can see the enjoyment on the guests because it's more intimate. You have very good friends and family together, and they actually get a chance to interact with each other, everybody else. Whereas if you have a large wedding, then it's different.
Okay.
You know, but I mean, we've had some excellent large weddings where the clients were very skeptical. They've come in and they had very specific desires, and they were not sure if we in Dominica could handle it. And we put our team together and we subcontract whoever we need to subcontract to get it done, and it gets done.
But how flexible are you? I know that maybe you might want to feature, ideally, Dominican cuisine, you know, especially if you're dealing with foreigners. But what if, you know, a couple comes and a couple says, well, we want sushi, we want vegetarian.
We've done
are
that.
you able to cater?
Yes, we have. Actually, we're just discussing with a client right now who the bride is from Dominica and the groom is from Holland, and we're trying out new dishes from Holland to ensure that when the family comes in, they have some comfort food.
Okay.
So as long as we have enough time, then we can play around with recipes and try them out and ensure that we have good quality. And we allow for tastings if the clients require, then we can arrange for them to come in and taste the items.
So it's not mandatory that the couples ask for a tasting session before?
No.
Okay, great. What has been one of the most interesting dishes that you've prepared?
Wow. That's a tough one.
You know, we have different cultures, you know, different countries. We know Trinidad for the rotis and all the curries and all that kind of thing. We have Jamaica with the jerk. Dominica, you know, we have all the great Creole seasonings.
That's really difficult. The first thing that comes to my mind is one of the Holland dishes, which is the bitter balls.
Bitter balls, yeah.
It's very similar to what we would call a meatball,
okay,
but it's with the Holland twist. So this is the newest thing that we've been trying.
Yes. So where do you prepare the food? Do you prepare the food on site or in Rosa?
Most of the food is prepared at Guyav and it's transported to whichever venue that we do.
Okay.
Depending on the menu items, some of it has to be done on site, so we adjust accordingly.
Do you prepare the food the same day?
Yes. I mean, you have preparation when you're seasoning of your meals and you're cutting of your vegetables, etc., which can be done the day before, but everything is prepared fresh daily.
Because you value providing quality food, fresh food, and safe food. Very, very, very important. Yes. Quite apart from providing the food, do you provide alcohol?
Yes, we can.
To the guests?
Yes, we do.
Receptions?
Yes. We normally give the guests the option of either providing their own alcohol, and we charge a corkage fee to provide staff and ice and glasses and mixers, etc. Or we can just do full service where we provide everything and the client is basically charged on what is being used. Okay.
So what about destination weddings excites you, and why would you want to continue to cater to those types of weddings?
It opens Dominica to the world. For instance, a couple of years ago we did a destination wedding at the Emerald Pool.
Wow.
We have to, the vows were actually exchanged at the Emerald Pool, and then we had to provide food, everything, drinks, everything at the Emerald Pool. And I mean, these were pretty wealthy people who've come from overseas. But then the greenery of Dominica and the simplicity of everything and the natural beauty of Dominica, they were all at all. I mean, I think, if I remember correctly, the groom's mother was challenged. She was in a wheelchair, and she still insisted to be brought down there. She had to go down there.
Yeah.
You know, because she just didn't want to miss the beauty of having that wedding, those vows exchanged by a waterfall. You know? So again, it's just the pure pleasure of seeing your clients and your guests really being happy and enjoying themselves.
Okay. All right. Ronald Astafan talking about his catering experience, the proprietor of a Guyav restaurant and catering services in Dominica. We want to thank you so much again, Ronald, for joining me on the Tanya Green Show. Want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Unlock the secrets of the Nature Isle with the hotel at the heart of Dominica. Whether relaxing or over on business, the Fort Young is perfectly placed for all your needs, providing comfort and elegance in every room. Our Palisades restaurant features Caribbean classics reinvented with fresh produce from our hills and our seas that connects with a view to dine for. The Fort Young is the best place to meet on island, providing the widest selection of meeting options. The island is filled with natural bounties and adventurers have been drawn to Dominica for centuries. Fort Young Hotel, the key to Dominica.
Welcome back. You're watching the Tanya Green Show. Pearl Fontaine has been in the cosmetics industry for 13 years now. Throughout those years, she became a sought-after makeup artist for television anchors Kate Snow, Robin Roberts, Deborah Roberts, and Diana Golodriga, just to name a few on and off the screen. With vast artistry and product knowledge and experience from print work to bridal makeup to television, Pearl is perhaps best known for her flawless makeup applications, brow sculpting, and attention to detail are hallmarks of her brand as well. Pearl has become a sought-after makeup artist here in Dominica. You have seen her work over the past few years in Dominica's national pageant, having worked with past national queens from the year 2010 to 2014. She has also created several looks for brides all over the island. There is no doubt that she is the best makeup artist on the island. Let's welcome now my guest, Pearl Fontaine, to the Tanya Green Show. Pearl, thank you so much for joining me on the show. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
You look
thank you for having me. Thank you.
Welcome. You're
as
welcome.
well.
You're welcome. Talk to me. Why did you decide to become a makeup artist?
I decided primarily to become a makeup artist because I was creative. I think creativity dominated that side of me. And it was a way for me to express my creativity. Then it became a gift. Then I realized it was more of a gift than something that I just wanted to do. Every time I tried to leave it, I would be diverted back to it. But it has allowed me the opportunity to have my own business. It's allowed me the freedom of living my life, having time for myself and my family, and also to be able to work. Yes. You know, so it wasn't a 9 to 5. The hours at ABC were from 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. Then you have the rest of the day unless you have clients. So, you know, makeup is a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of different people, learn from them, and just grow. Makeup artistry has allowed me to grow in ways that maybe another opportunity wouldn't have.
So we're talking about destination weddings. We're talking about doing makeup for brides. Okay. Do you have an extra excitement when you do makeup for weddings?
Absolutely.
Why
Absolutely.
so?
I love love. And I think, you know, the world needs more of it. And when two people decide to come together and to become one, I mean, there's that to be excited about. And the fact that, you know, there's an opportunity to make this woman beautiful or even more beautiful through my makeup artistry. When I apply makeup, I don't just do anything. You know, there isn't a structure, you know, in place. I don't follow a rule. I kind of vibe off of the woman's energy. And I do her makeup according to what I feel. 10 times out of 10, I'm always correct.
Yes.
So when there's a bride involved, I tend to get more into the aspects of her wedding, her colors, her color scheme, what she wants to look like. When I lived in New York, I made it a point to look at the bride, have her send me a face, you know, a headshot for a photograph of herself, and with no makeup, and I would put together a vision board for her, find hairstyles, makeup styles that I liked, put it together, have a meeting with her, with the bride to be,
Yes.
and we discuss the looks that I've chosen for her. A lot of times they would, go with what I suggested, or they may have their own opinions of what they want. Now it's more about just meeting with the bride, finding out what their likes are, what their dislikes are, if they have any concerns. A lot of times they do have concerns. I mean, this is a time when it's really hectic. You're under a lot of pressure trying to get things together. Women tend to break out. They tend to, not get enough sleep. My advice to them would be to drink lots of water, eat healthier. If they haven't been, make sure they eat on time. Again, drink lots of water because it helps to purify your skin. You don't want on your wedding day to have a huge zit and bags under your eyes. So get some sleep. Try not to worry about it. So those are the things that we discuss, and that's the kind of advice that I give to my brides.
How necessary is it to have a trial done before the actual wedding day?
Okay, it's necessary. It's significant to have a trial because, one, you're getting to know the bride. It's your opportunity to get to know the bride. And if it's the first time doing someone's face, it's an opportunity for you to work around the areas that you're not familiar with. So it's kind of like, the face for me is kind of like a roadmap. And if you don't know Dominica, you can get lost. If you're trying to get to Portsmouth, you might end up in the Carib Reserve if you don't know where you're going. So it's a roadmap. You want to be able, you want to make sure that you know everything about this woman's face, whether you have wrinkles, whether your eyelashes, the skin over your eyebrows are lapping over your eyelid. You want to know everything.
Yes. Quite apart from getting familiar with the bride before the wedding day, is it necessary to have the bride take, for example, the veil, the dress, other accessories, during that trial?
It's always important for the makeup artist to be involved in the other aspects of the bride's day. So yes, you need to see a picture of the dress, because remember, if you have a dress that covers your entire body, your neckline, you might not want to have your hair down. You may want to have it up. So you want to make sure that you're aware of what they're working with.
Okay. What has the feedback been like from the clients that you've worked with?
A lot of the clients that I've worked with have said that they never thought that they could look like this. Or
meaning stunning, meaning
stunning,
beautiful.
Really beautiful.
Yes.
They've never experienced it before. A lot of brides have come back and said, Pearl, everyone kept talking about the makeup. The only thing, they didn't even talk about my dress. They talked about the makeup and how beautiful I looked.
Yes.
And that's what it's about. That's what makeup is about.
Okay. What brings you even further joy on that special wedding day after you've done a bride's makeup?
The thing that brings me joy is the fact that the bride is satisfied, and knowing that she's going to walk down that aisle and her husband is going to be wowed, because he has never seen my work before, and he's never seen his bride look like that. I think that's the moment where he's like, my wife is beautiful.
Yes.
Or she's even more beautiful.
Right.
I think that's what's satisfying about the day.
Okay, all right. Makeup artist Pearl Fontaine speaking to me about her art of makeup application, especially on brides. We want to thank you so much for joining us on the Tarnia Green Show.
Thank you, Tarnia.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for having me.
Okay, great. When the Tarnia Green Show returns, it's lights, camera, action. We tell you who takes care of the magic moments. That's coming up right after the break.
Accurate, dependable. We go where others have not gone before. We bring you in-depth reporting on the stories that matter. Tune in weeknights from 8:30 p.m. to 767 News, with repeats at 10:30 p.m. and 6 a.m. the following morning. 767 News, Dominica's #1 news source. Only on Digital Play TV, Channel 3.
bit, I felt it. I tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my...
Welcome back. You're watching the Tarnia Green Show, and today we're talking destination weddings and really promoting Dominica as one of the ideal destinations in the world to wed. Our next guest is no stranger to the Dominican public. Elias Dupuy and his partner Tridel Elwin, the founders of 365 MMP, are household names known for great quality videography. Today, photographer, editor and production manager of 365 MMP, Elias Dupuy, has joined me on set to speak of the company's strides, specifically as it relates to capturing those special moments. Elias, thank you for joining me once again on the Tarnia Green Show.
You're
becoming a regular,
yeah.
huh?
I like it here.
How are you doing?
I'm awesome.
Okay, great. Talk to me, how long have you been in this business?
365 MMP has been in the business for about 3.5, pushing on 4 years now. We started in about 2011. Sometime in September, I think. Yeah.
Yes, and what was the thinking behind setting up this company?
We wanted to really do a full-purpose, all-in-one sort of marketing company. And one of the things that we realized that we really needed to do was control our own photography and our own, creative product. And so we got, heavily into that at first, and it made us, quite popular initially. As well, and then we realized that we really had a liking for wedding photography, so we kind of have stuck with it for quite a while. Okay,
so what sort of clients do you normally work with?
We do mostly locals. We have done some overseas, and we work with different partners and different wedding coordinators who help us to get destination wedding clients as well.
So you think you've been able to carve out a niche for 365 MMP?
Yeah,
that of shooting destination weddings.
I think we have a pretty good handle on that, and I think we really appreciate the partners that we do have, and that they keep reaching out to us for our product, and I think we do a very good job.
What do you think sets you apart from other photographers on the island?
Well, I'm not too certain what particularly sets us apart, but what we really hold dear is the fact that we offer a great service, a really incredible value, and we're always looking to sort of add value for our customer. We have a bit of a policy that we don't really change our prices; we just add value. So if I have a customer who says, can you take your price down a little bit or what? We said not really, but we can give you this extra or that. So it's worked so far, I think.
Walk me through the process. Once a client calls and requests the services of 365 MMP to do a wedding, to videotape or to take photographs at a wedding, what is done from your end?
A wedding is a very personal, very intimate event, and so if we're going to be taking pictures of it, we really want to have a sense of who the people are and what they're about, and sort of how their chemistry works together, even long before we even get to the day itself. So we'd like to have a meeting with them. We go over their options. We discuss our wedding contract and our agreement, and once all of that is done, we have a final meeting the week before the wedding. To just kind of run over everything again, see if they wanted anything added, and so that by the time you get to the day, you're very familiar with them. You know their names. You can call them by the names. You don't say, "Hey, bride." You say Tarnia, for example, and that I think helps on the day in terms of creating chemistry between us and them, and sort of getting them to be very comfortable.
Excellent. Over the years, you've managed to shoot quite a number of weddings in Dominica, and you've attracted several overseas clients, specifically couples getting married. What, to your mind, is the most memorable wedding that you've done in Dominica?
Well, it was easy. I think we've done about 90 weddings so far in the time that we've existed, and you know, that to me is a pretty big achievement. But there's one that sort of stands out among all the others. It really was the greatest week of my life. I shot the wedding. We shot the wedding of Devin and Maria, Devin Centilla and Maria Roll, and that came with an entire week of activities, and it was quite the whirlwind. It was awesome.
Okay. What are some of the interesting places that you've had to go and work?
Well, we shot weddings at the Cabrits. It's quite a popular destination for destination as well as local weddings. We've done weddings at Papillot. We did the most interesting place that I've done a wedding was the freshwater lake. Didn't expect that to happen, and
Why not?
It was a very, very good experience. There was a lot of fog, and it was a very cold day, but it was fun. I think the bride and the groom seemed very comfortable. They seemed very at home, you know, and that helped. That showed in their photos.
Talk to me about the type of equipment that you use and the type of photographs that you take. You take colored photographs, black and white photographs. Talk to me about that.
Well, we shoot with Nikon digital cameras.
Nikon digital cameras.
Yeah. We use one standard line of cameras, so that no matter who's shooting, no matter where we're shooting from, it sort of all looks the same. And so it all feels like it's like there's continuity, and it's one long story. And we use fast lenses, and just, you know, make nature work for us.
Yes. Once the day is done, you've photographed, you've videographed, you've taken your videos of the wedding. What happens? How soon does the client get the final product?
Well, that varies, and it varies based on what was initially requested. Sometimes we have to send overseas to have things printed and have them delivered and
overseas?
shipped. Yes.
Okay.
Printed and bound a particular way that the client requests, you know, leather bound or whatever, you know, really whatever. The videos usually are the ones that take the longest. So those take about a month of turnover time. The photos can take anywhere from a week to about 2 or 3 weeks, just depending on the volume.
Okay. Why should anyone choose the services of 365 MMP?
Well, simply because we can offer a better value. We can always add. There's always things that we can add to our packages. We're not very rigid in terms of how we structure our packages. We're very flexible. We do great photography. You know, you're really gonna have a great day. But what we truly value is the experience of each client. We go up to each client at the end of every wedding day and we say, "Did you guys have a good time?" Yeah. And most of the time, all of the time, they're smiling, they're beaming because they did enjoy it, and it's. And as much as it may be something where, you know, you may be a bit apprehensive at first, just having someone there who is willing to talk you through it and allow you to be photographed in, you know, the best, the purest way that you can, I think that's absolutely valuable, and our clients have loved that.
Okay. Elias Dupuy of 365 MMP talking to me right here on the Tarnia Green Show. We want to thank you so much, Elias.
Thank you so much
for joining me again. All the best to you.
All the best to you as well.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
The designers, the makeup artists, even down to the caterers play a major role in making Dominica a destination wedding site. And the preference of the island as a wedding destination is far-reaching, being the top pick of regional and international to-be brides and grooms. As early as this year, Secret Bay and Dominica were highlighted as one of the top 10 places around the world to go for an adventurous honeymoon by the Knots magazine. Dominica has also been rated among the top 20 most romantic places in the world to tie the knot by The Observer UK, and as one of the top hot and steamy romantic trips by The Guardian in the UK. You should make Dominica your unique wedding destination. But first, you must obtain a special marriage license, which can be found online on the Government of the Commonwealth of Dominica's website or the website of the Discover Dominica Authority. I hope after watching this show, you will be encouraged to make Dominica your #1 choice for an ideal wedding destination. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have now for this episode of the Tarnia Green Show. Be sure to join us next time for another exciting show. Until then, I am Tarnia Green. Thanks for watching.
Alcohol. Me, I want to chop money. I get them plenty. Looking for sexy. I want some pom. She con de pium. Waka baby. Uru baby. Kona baby. And I go tell my mama. And I go tell my papa. And I go tell him say, you be waka baby. You be chuku baby. Baby sawale. 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 I wish I